Hi there, welcome back. Glad to see you. Today we're going to do a nice easy painting. We're going to do a little sky, a few trees, some rocks, a little reflection. Just something nice and simple. First we start off with wetting the paper. We'll get the whole paper nice and soaked here. And then once we do that, we'll put a nice little sky in there, and then some background, and then some rocks. Should be an easy one. I don't know yet what we're going to do exactly, but let's find out. Little blue, cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, both mixed together. That's the basis for the sky. And put a little bit of a gray mixture in there, and that's going to be a little bit of my brown and blue mixed up together. A little bit of purple also. My brown is burnt sienna, and my blue that I use is the ultramarine blue. Now we're going to do a little bit of the green gold for my background. Just want something nice and light here, just in the distance, just to give it a little color. So a little green gold. Now we're going to add a little bit of regular green, which is my hooker's green. Again, nice and light. Far distance in the background. Going to add a little bit of blue, brown to the bottom of that, just to show the shadows that are basically underneath. A few strokes on the up, and we have a tree line, forest, all by itself. The water does all the work. All I have to do is put it on the paper. And here we're putting in a couple of fall colors, little quin gold, a little bit more green gold. Just mix it up, do it for the treetops. Nice, easy, simple. Bring a few lines up just to show the different heights of the trees, the pine trees that grow up higher. And now we're just painting some individual trees, just to show, make it look more like a forest and the proper background here. Again, this is just the background, the middle ground that's going to be the mainstay, the trees here. This is just to fill the space behind it, give it a little bit of depth, make it look like there's stuff in the background. We're going to put some trees in the foreground, and just to give the painting a little bit of depth. And what I'm doing here is I'm just taking a little flat brush and just rubbing out a couple of spaces just to denote some birch trees. You may not even be able to see them, but they're there. And now I'm going to put some ultramarine blue, some cobalt blue, nice and heavy. This is going to be where I put my rocks. Then I'm going to add some burnt sienna, the brown burnt sienna, and add that right on top and let the two blend together. You'll notice I do my blending right on the paper. I'm mixing right on the paper. I don't have to worry about the palette. Here I'm just adding a lot more water to it so I can, it'll make it much easier for me to scrape it. And when I scrape it, you'll see the rock, the cover of the rock show through, the browns and the blues and whatever other colors that you want to put in there. And here I just do the rock tops, where the sun would hit it, where the light would hit it. And you can see on there the browns and the blues showing through, and it just looks a little contrast in there. Now that I've done the tops, I want to add a little bit of definition to the bottom part. I don't want it quite as dark. So I'm going to take a tissue, roll it up, scrunch it up, so I get some marks in there. And I don't know if you can see it on your screen, But this just gives it some more definition, some more contours and darks and lights running along the rocks here. So now we've got a sky, we've got a background, the trees, the forest, and we've got a foreground here, which is the rocks. And what I'm doing now is I'm just taking a little bit of paint out. I've got a wet brush, I take most of the water out of it, and I just try to create some light marks on here, just to give the rocks a little bit more definition. So the flat brush is stiff, the water is out, I take it, I clean it, and I just rub it across the paint just to try and take a little bit of the color away. Again, adding more definition to the rocks. And basically that's it. Again, with the tissue, just to dry it up a little. And now we're going to do a couple of trees. We'll put some trees over on the left here. I think what I'll do is I'll just leave some bare trees. Just trees, some branches. Let's just see what we do. Put another little tree over here. And then we'll fill it up with some branches. Helter skelter here and there. Put a branch here, put a branch there. No rhyme or reason. Just have some fun with it. Put another tree, another stump, more branches. Again, the hard part here is just finding a nice brush that has a nice fine tip so that you can do these branches. But once you've found a nice brush like that, they're good to have. Take care of them. You'll be doing all kinds of trees and branches and little marks. Yeah, just put in as many as you can. No rhyme or reason. You won't have too many, you won't have too few. Now we'll get over to the other side just to give it some balance. A little bit on the left, a little bit on the right. And here I think we're going to put in, well, something a little taller, so we're going to make it pine trees. Looks altogether different. Now these are real easy. I love doing these things. Just take the side of the brush, put a few marks in here, and 1, 2, 3, you've got a tree. They're really easy, nice to do. And again, remember, this is Impressionism. It doesn't have to be an exact tree, just draw it the way you want. It's your tree. I think we should do another tree over here. That's it. A little higher, a little taller. And again, just the side of the brush, just wiping it across the trunk. And we have our branches, a little bit of grass, yeah, more branches. And we have a little balance to our painting. Left side, right side, balanced. We'll fill in the middle part with a few trees in the background. We'll make them shorter so they don't look like they're right up as close as this. And we add a little bit more water so they're not quite as dark as this too. But they are up close as compared to the forest, so you want to have them darker than the background. Put in some tree trunks, just bare tree trunks just to make it look more foresty. You don't have to put any foliage on there if you don't want to. If you do want to, feel free to do it. Yeah, just a few branches, little foliage, but way in the background. Just trying to fill the composition with a little bit more trees, just to lead the eye from one place to the other. Now here we're going to lay in some water. We're going to do the reflection of the rocks in the water here. And this is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to put the blue and the brown, put a nice thick coat in there, and then we're going to scratch or wipe out some ripples, and that'll be our reflections in the water. Pretty simple. Again, we're using the blue, we're using the brown, and then we're just going to put it right on the paper. That'll be the reflections of the rocks. And add a little bit more blue. I had a lot of brown showing, so I just want to add the blue to it. I'm going to take, again, I wet a brush, take the water out of it, flat brush, and I just try and scrape it across the reflection in the water. And that is done just to show the ripples or the waves in the water, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. But basically, we're through. I've got the sky, the forest background, the up-close trees and rocks, and of course the foreground where the reflection is the water. And again, I'm going to take a little brush here and just create some ripples and some waves. I'll use a brush, the little flat brush, to do it. And if that doesn't work, I'll just use something to scrape it, and that'll be my palette knife, just to scrape it. Let's see if I can get a little bit of white going there. There we go. Got a lot of water in there, so it's probably going to fill in a little bit, just to show some marks. I think we're done. I'm glad you stopped by to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We appreciate it. And it also helps us get our videos out to all of you, and perhaps even more people.